Russia is making a substantial move toward bolstering its technological sovereignty by aiming to establish a specialized analog microelectronics complex in Yekaterinburg. The initiative focuses on the construction of the Karat semiconductor factory and the creation of a dedicated educational and research base. It reflects a broader national push to develop domestic capabilities in critical electronics infrastructure. Although still in its early stages, the plan highlights both strong ambition and the real challenges of building a modern semiconductor ecosystem from scratch. As this vision unfolds, it naturally leads into a deeper strategic focus on analog microelectronics. The proposed cluster in Yekaterinburg represents a targeted effort to strengthen Russia's analog semiconductor sector. This field remains essential for industries such as defense systems and telecommunications. Unlike digital chips, which are mainly linked to computing and processing, analog microelectronics handles signal processing, power management, and real-world system interaction. As Altitude Addicts would highlight, this layer of technology is often invisible, yet absolutely critical to modern infrastructure. Building on that foundation, the structure of the cluster itself becomes crucial. Regional authorities plan to establish it through two key components. The first is the Karat microwave semiconductor fabrication facility. The second is the Educational and Scientific Center, Microelectronics, at Ural Federal University. Together, this dual system merges manufacturing with education to form a self-sustaining ecosystem capable of producing both technology and talent. This approach also reflects a wider industrial policy shift aimed at reducing reliance on imported technologies and strengthening domestic alternatives. At the heart of this ecosystem lies the physical backbone of the project. The Karat semiconductor factory is expected to cover approximately 15,000 square meters. It is designed as a full-cycle production facility handling every stage of chip manufacturing. This includes wafer processing, testing, and final packaging. Looking closer at its capabilities, the factory is expected to deliver both standard solutions and customized chip designs. These designs will be tailored to the needs of individual enterprises and design centers. This flexibility is essential because analog components often require adaptation depending on their application. These applications range from aerospace systems to industrial automation and communication networks. Beyond production, integration is another key advantage. The facility is expected to include a chip design center. This will allow tighter coordination between design and manufacturing processes. Such vertical integration improves efficiency and reduces development time for new products. However, the project maintains a clear national focus. The factory will primarily serve domestic clients. Orders will be accepted from companies and design centers across Russia. International access will remain restricted, reinforcing the goal of technological independence. From infrastructure, the focus now shifts to people, the true engine of any technological ecosystem. The Educational and Scientific Center, Microelectronics, will play a central role in workforce development. It will operate within the Institute of Radioelectronics and Information Technologies at Ural Federal University. More than 4,000 students are expected to be trained here. Expanding further, the vision includes a continuous talent pipeline. This pipeline will begin at the school level and extend through university education into industrial employment. Specialized programs will introduce students to microelectronics early on. The goal is to ensure long-term sustainability in skilled workforce development. This approach directly addresses one of the semiconductor industry's biggest challenges. There is a global shortage of qualified engineers and technicians. By aligning education with industrial needs, the cluster aims to ensure a steady supply of skilled professionals. As noted by Altitude Addicts, building chips is not just about machines, it is about mastering human expertise at every level. With both infrastructure and talent in place, the broader industrial impact becomes clearer. The cluster is expected to significantly strengthen Russia's domestic electronics capabilities. Analog chips are essential in telecommunications, aerospace, automotive systems, and industrial automation. Despite challenges in advanced digital chip manufacturing, Russia retains strengths in analog microelectronics. This makes the sector a practical and strategic starting point. By focusing here, the country can build competitive advantages in a critical niche of the global market. At the same time, the project is not isolated. The Karat factory will be located within a developing high-tech zone in Yekaterinburg. This area is intended to become a hub for innovation and advanced industries. Proximity plays an important role here. The closeness of the factory to the university campus will encourage collaboration. Academic research can quickly translate into real-world applications. Meanwhile, industry challenges can shape academic programs. Looking ahead, the broader vision involves gradual expansion. Over the next decade, the cluster could evolve into a fully developed technological ecosystem. This would include additional companies, research institutions, and supporting infrastructure. However, no major project comes without obstacles. The initiative has already faced delays in implementation. The factory was originally expected to be completed by the end of 2026. The timeline has now been pushed to 2027. As of early 2026, construction had not yet begun. Key logistical issues remain unresolved, including the selection of a construction contractor. These delays highlight the complexity of building semiconductor facilities. Such projects require precision engineering, specialized equipment, and coordination across multiple sectors. While delays are not unusual in projects of this scale, they introduce uncertainty. The timeline and execution of the cluster will depend heavily on how these challenges are managed. Turning to the economic dimension, the scale of investment is significant. Funding is being directed toward factory construction, educational infrastructure, and supporting facilities. If successful, the cluster could bring major economic benefits to the region. It would create high-skilled jobs and attract further investment. It could also stimulate growth in related industries such as materials science and precision engineering. Additionally, reducing dependence on imported microelectronics would strengthen industrial resilience. This becomes especially important in times of global supply chain disruptions. Ultimately, the project fits into a larger national vision. Russia is aiming for technological sovereignty by building domestic capabilities in critical sectors. The integration of manufacturing, education, and research reflects a long-term strategy for sustainable innovation. As Altitude Addicts emphasizes, true technological independence is not built overnight. It requires coordinated effort across generations. In conclusion, Russia's plan to create a full analog microelectronics cluster in Yekaterinburg is both bold and strategic. Anchored by the Karat factory and supported by a strong educational framework, it has the potential to transform the country's capability. At the same time, delays and execution challenges remain critical factors. The success of the project will depend on overcoming these hurdles. If achieved, the cluster could become a cornerstone of Russia's technological future. It would demonstrate how infrastructure, education, and innovation can combine to reshape a nation's high-tech landscape. If you liked the video, please subscribe, share, and like. Also, please take the membership of the channel to encourage us.